If you're a leader, you probably want to know how to hold more productive meetings. Meetings are an important part of the business world. We do spend a lot of time on them, but in them, decisions are made, strategy is formed, and moments are celebrated. However, I do hear some complaints. People feel, especially with internal meetings, there are too many, nothing is decided, and they go way too long. I feel your pain. Today, I want to talk to you about some big picture strategies that can help you hold more productive meetings. Now, you may be wondering, hey, who's this guy? My name's Ken Okel. I am a professional speaker and I talk to audiences about ways people can improve their performance on the job. First strategy we're going to be looking at. I want you to think about in a meeting, what are updates and what are action items? Because people get confused between the two. First, an update. You are simply sharing information. For our upcoming conference, we have just hired Ken Okel as our keynote speaker. See what we did there? Little subliminal magic. Anyway, it is simply giving out the information, an update. What's an action item? An action item is an update where something else should probably happen. For example, our sales were down 20% last quarter. You wouldn't want to just say that and move on. You'd want to spend some time digging into why were the numbers low? What can we do? When you're creating your agenda, make sure that the action items aren't at the end of the meeting so they might get rushed through. Try to have the updates be relatively quick, almost like a speed round. You're sharing the information, you're letting people know about them, you're moving on to the next thing. Another problem I see in a lot of meetings, there is no next step for important items. Things are discussed, debated, it can be heated at times, but there's no next step. What are we going to do next? Make sure for those action items especially, there is some sort of defined next step. It should have some sort of timeline on it, and people should be assigned to do the work. If it's left unsaid or implied, good chance people get busy, priorities will be pushed to the side. The next meeting you come there, oh, did you do this? Oh, it didn't happen. Okay, well, could you try to do it next time? Progress is delayed. Really try to clearly define next steps, almost as if someone had missed the meeting and they said, oh, hey, what happened? You would be able to tell them later, John will be working on this project for the next meeting. Sally will be working on this aspect. Letitia will be working on this thing. You understand what I'm saying? Make sure it's that clear. So if someone missed the meeting, they could quickly be told by someone who was in the meeting what happened and what's next. Here's a trap that can come when you're assigning next steps. The person who is given the task, they're good, they're competent, they're the right choice. However, there's something coming up that affects their ability to do this thing. For instance, in 3 days, they're leaving on a 2-week trip to Thailand. They will not be in touch with anyone during that time. Okay, hey, it's good to have time off, but everyone needs to understand the timeline. If you were hoping to get some sort of resolution in the next 2 weeks, that's not going to happen because the person isn't there. Make sure the timeline matches up. There may also be other factors that can affect a different department in an organization. For instance, the sales team, they probably have their busy season. Giving them certain tasks on the eve of their big season may not be the best idea. You may want to change the timeline somewhat, see if someone else can do it. And understand, people often want to help out. They may be eager to take on new responsibilities to help their career. Make sure that they can do it. Especially when there are sequential projects, it can be very frustrating. This is a situation where one person needs to do a certain amount of work, then they pass on the project to the next person who does a little more. It gets passed on to the third person. You understand the concept, okay? What I have seen before is the person who's in like slot number 2 or number 3, they really rush to make sure that they have free time available to work on this project. They may stay late, do other things. They're really making the project a priority. Then they find out the person who is in a slot ahead of them, well, they've been on vacation. They haven't touched it. It's not a priority for them. As a result, the people in the slots down the line, they're a little frustrated because they brought their A game to it and they may feel like the other people haven't. Make sure the timelines are defined in terms of when can you get that done realistically. Take the confusion, the uncertainty out of it, and really make sure you are heading towards a resolution. Finally, let's go really big picture. I understand you may be feeling that your meetings are too long. Let's say your meeting is an hour. Why is it an hour? Is it an hour simply because the calendar scheduling app works in 30-minute chunks and you picked an hour? Does it have to be an hour? If everyone in the meeting can be properly prepared, have a good discussion, you might be able to get it done in 45 minutes. Can you make what I would call a preparation pact with the other people who go to this meeting? And this especially works well for meetings that happen, let's say, every 2 weeks, every month. Everyone agrees, I'm going to come to this meeting prepared. I will have reviewed materials ahead of time. I'll be ready to take part in the discussion. I'm not going to be having to sit in the meeting to learn. In the big picture, meetings should not be a play date for adults. They should be a place where things are being discussed and decided. The more preparation that people can commit to, and I know everyone's busy, but if you can take at least 5-10 minutes before the session to make sure you're up on the meeting, you know what's going to be happening, and you understand the things that you want to bring to other people's attention or your concerns, the meetings will be that much more effective. I hope these strategies are useful. As I said, meetings are an important part of the business world. We can make them a little better. For more about me, go to my website. It is just like my name, Ken Okel. While there, you can watch some clips from my live speaking presentations. You can listen to my podcast, The 2-Minute Takeaway, and you can read my many articles. Hope these tips have helped. We will talk again soon. I'm Ken Okel. Take care.